another universe with the aim of reimagining its iconic character, Batman. The absolute universe offers a fresh perspective on heroes we thought we knew, driven by the creative talents of veterans like Scott Snyder. This new universe strips away the traditional elements that define these heroes, rebuilding them from the ground up and modernizing their stories in ways that are both exciting and challenging for longtime fans. The absolute DC universe exists as an alternative timeline running parallel to the main continuity without replacing it. This allows creators to explore new versions of these characters without being tied to decades of established history. Let's dive into what makes DC's absolute universe so unique, how its iconic heroes have been reimagined, and why this is an essential new chapter in the DC Comics legacy. Without the mansion, without the money, without the butler, what's left is the absolute Dark Knight, Absolute Batman, Volume 1, Issue 1, The Zoo, Part 1 of 5. Hello again, Gotham. It's been a long time. So who are you these days? Who have you become while I was gone? You're prettier. I'll give you that. Taller, brighter, but deep down something has changed. I've circled the city 3 times and I still can't find it. Where's your heart? You used to have a center, hot and beating, but something's hollowed you out. A man is traveling through the city on a motorcycle. This motorcycle is what we call the Bat Cycle. He sees a news report about a gang called the Party Animal Gang who recently slaughtered 9 people in a brutal attack, including 2 police officers. This man gets off the Bat Cycle and continues to think, in fact, I barely recognize you anymore. I'm not sure I like this new you, Gotham, but that's okay. I don't think you're going to like me much either. My name is Alfred Pennyworth, and I'm here to do some bad things. Intelligence agent Alfred Pennyworth is abruptly pulled from his 5-year pursuit of a high-profile target and sent to Gotham after a long absence from the city. Upon returning, he goes to an old safe house and attempts to call his estranged daughter, Julia, who lives in Gotham, but only reaches her voicemail. The voicemail says, Julia, leave a message. Alfred responds, Julia, hi, I know it's been a long time, but I'm in Gotham, at least for a short while. I don't even know if you still live here anymore, but if you, he trails off before ending the call. Later, Alfred opens a secured video call with his handlers, who informs him that his mission is to survey and gather information on a new terrorist group called the Party Animals. This group is responsible for a staggering 700% increase in the city's murder rate. Alfred is ordered to observe only and not engage under any circumstances. His superiors also mentioned that a vigilante has been active in the city recently. Alfred is permitted to engage with this vigilante if deemed necessary. When Alfred leaves his hideout, he discovers that his motorcycle has been stolen. Standing outside, he mutters, I hate this bleeping town. He is not the kind butler. Alfred Pennyworth is a special agent employed by an unidentified British organization tasked with gathering intelligence and neutralizing high-priority targets. Sent to Gotham City to investigate the Party Animal Gang, Alfred inevitably finds himself clashing with the city's young new vigilante, Batman. Alfred Pennyworth is a soldier of fortune. In other universes, Alfred Pennyworth served in the United Kingdom military in some capacity. He has training in firearms, investigation, and espionage. The main difference in this absolute universe is that Alfred has not reconciled with his estranged daughter Julia. This estrangement has profoundly changed him. An expert in espionage, firearms, investigation, and surveillance, Alfred adheres to strict military protocols. In this iteration, he served in the United States Special Forces before becoming a spy. He is not the Alfred you know. The next morning in Crime Alley, blue-collar civil engineer Bruce Wayne trains on a punching bag at Croc's Gym, the only building still standing on a ruined street. As he punches the bag, memories of the day his father died overwhelm him, and he ends up destroying it. He apologized to the gym owner, his childhood friend, Waylon Jones, better known as Killer Croc, who in this universe is Bruce Wayne's friend and the owner of the boxing gym. Bruce says he'll pay for the damage when he gets his next paycheck. This version of Killer Croc appears to be a hero, as he actively trying to clean up Gotham City. Waylon invites Bruce to a regular poker game with their old friends, which Bruce hasn't attended in months, but Bruce refuses. refuses. We then see a glimpse of Bruce Wayne's childhood friends, Waylon Jones, Killer Croc, Ozzy Cobblepot, the Penguin, Selino Kyle, Catwoman, and possibly Edward Nygma, the Riddler, identified by his red hair. Waylon then asks if Bruce is at least coming to a town meeting that night to discuss the party animals, but Bruce ignores him and walks out. We get a throwback to Bruce's childhood where he's spending time with his father, Thomas Wayne, and there's a lesson to be learned. Bruce is at Gotham Zoo with his father, Thomas Wayne, who is also his teacher. Bruce is looking at a sign about bats and is completely infatuated with them. His father tells him they'll see the bats later. Thomas addresses the class. So what have we learned, class? Bruce replies, the lion has the life. It says here he sleeps 20 hours a day, gets fed prime rib 3 times a day, and never has to be afraid of anything. Thomas replies, fair, he might be coddled, but he'll never affect anything. He'll never mean very much. Bruce quips, at least he doesn't have to go to school. Thomas replies with a grin. Says the boy to his father, the teacher. Bruce jokes, I'm just messing with you, Mr. Wayne. Thomas chuckles, forgive it. So are you excited for the movie tonight? Bruce shrugs. I mean, I'm excited for the nap. Do I really have to come? Thomas smiles and says, yes, it's the film your mom and I met at. Get it? Bruce protests, but why do I have to go? Suddenly a gunshot rings out. Thomas gasps, oh God. Thomas Wayne is Bruce Wayne's 5th grade teacher. In this universe, Thomas Wayne is not a billionaire, but a teacher. On a yacht with blaring music, the leaders of Gotham's crime families, including Mr. Falcone of the Falcone crime family and Mr. Maroni of the Maroni crime family, meet with Roman Sionis, the leader of the party animals. Alongside Roman, we are introduced to other members of the party animal gang, Dr. Benjamin, a baby party animal, and a sweetheart party animal. Roman is unafraid of the 2 crime family heads. As the music blares in the background, the crime bosses question him, asking why he kills indiscriminately women, children, old people. They argue there are rules to follow. The child in the baby mask stares at the crime bosses as they mockingly question whether Roman is part of some Illuminati or performing sacrificial rituals. The crime boss demands respect for their legacy, reminding Roman that their families have been around for 150 years. They boast of their power, saying they have brothers, cousins, and associates all over Gotham. They warn him to take his little party boat and sail off before they kill him. At this point, the woman we nicknamed Sweetheart steps forward and says, baby, show them the masks. Roman interrupts, smiling. Friends, I'm afraid you have me all wrong. History is what I'm all about. That's what we're celebrating here. Its end. Roman gestures towards a collection of death masks and continues, I collect masks, not just any mask, death masks. That one there, rumored to belong to Socrates himself. Only 2 exist in the world. One in Messina, made of gold, and this one, crafted from virgin marble dust. Over here, we have Martin Luther, a one-of-a-kind piece made of beeswax and pine resin, touched by George Washington himself. This one is plaster from Virginia's old quarries. Then Roman points out that the crime bosses, and that there, Mr. Maroni is your brother, and that one, Mr. Falcone, is your cousin, and all the rest of them. As he speaks, it becomes clear that Roman and the party animals have already killed the crime families, associates, and taken their skins. Roman grins menacingly as he finishes, and now there are only 2 spaces left. In an instant, the baby mask and the sweetheart mask attack without hesitation, brutally killing Mr. Maroni and Mr. Falcone. Roman calmly says, Dr. Benjamin, turn the music back up, please. On the night of town hall meeting, Bruce Wayne dons the mask of Batman as the wind blows and he soars through the night sky. Early, there was a conversation between Killer Croc and Bruce Wayne. Croc informed him that Mayor Gordon was calling a town meeting later that night to address the concerns of civilians regarding the party animal gang and the chaos they've unleashed. News reports highlight the depravity of the party animals, with one reporter asking, how many more killing? Who are these monsters? Some speculate they are just kids gone mad. The broadcast shown disturbing footage, dismemberments, shootings, and scenes of utter carnage. People across Gotham are seen praying for the city it resides and its future. The report concludes, once again tonight, Jim Gordon is holding an emergency town meeting to discuss what can be done about the party animals' reign of terror? That evening at town meeting, the people of Gotham direct their anger at Mayor Gordon and the police, blaming them for failing to stop the party animals. They shout, "You're a disgrace, Gordon. Step down before you become a joke." As the crowd grows more hostile, Mayor Gordon responds, "We are fighting back, but this gang, we have no idea." Meanwhile, Alfred Pennyworth watches City Hall from a vantage point. He thinks to himself, "Even from out here, I can feel it. That mix of fear and rage, the explosive tremble in the air before something bad happens. And then I see them, ape skulls and bad prom clothes, heavily armed and laughing and giddy, gleeful. This is going to be bad." Alfred wants to intervene and stop the party animals before mass casualties occur, but his handlers have denied him permission to engage, instructing him to observe only. Inside the hall, Selina Kyle, Catwoman, tries to calm the agitated crowd, urging them, "This kind of conflict is exactly what the party animals want. Don't let them win." Suddenly, the gang bursts in, throwing a smoke grenade, and chaos ensues. The party animals come blasting through the door, one of them specifically addressing Selina Kyle, Catwoman. "I think the word you're looking for, miss, is die." As the people dive for cover, Mayor Gordon steps forward and says, "Whatever you want, deal with me." One of the gang members mockingly says, "Hi, Jimmy." "Bye, Jimmy," and then shoots Gordon. They gun him down and prepare to slaughter the rest of the people. Barbara Gordon, his daughter, rushes to his side, who is a beat cop. Before they can, the party animals are suddenly pulled out of the room and the door slams behind them. The police rush to outside and see an army of party animals heading their way. Barbara Gordon suggests they secure a perimeter, and she cautiously opens the door. To her shock, she finds Batman upside down on the other side. He says firmly, "Whatever you hear, do not open this door." From his vantage point, Alfred informs his superiors that Batman has arrived. They instruct him to engage if Batman disrupts the intelligence gathering operation. As Alfred watches the chaos unfolds, he closes his eye briefly, muttering to himself about a plausible deniability. Meanwhile, the party animals open fire on Batman, who's perched silently in the rafters. To their shock, the bullets simply bounce off. His entire outfit is bulletproof. Batman descends on them like a demon, not saying a single word. Gunfire continues, but it proves futile. As Batman moves with precision, he takes down the party animals one by one, throwing one through a window, another onto a light pole. He attacks, are relentless. With double kicks, he takes out yet another. As Alfred observes, he thinks to himself, well, look at you go. Whoever you are, you got flair, I'll give you that." Alfred's handler interrupts, demanding to know if Batman is disrupting the operation. Still with his eyes half closed, Alfred replies, "I'm still gathering data." But his thoughts, Alfred muses, "Let's see what you can really do, big guy." More party animals rush forward, and Batman prepares to face them. As a second wave of party animals rush in, bodies pile up behind Batman, and in front of him, the numbers keep growing. Alfred thinks to himself, "You're fast, steady, above all focus. You've been waiting for this, haven't you?" "Yeah, you have. You've trained mixed martial arts, your own blend of Muay Thai and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but you're a striker, first and foremost. Brutal, yet precise, and you're putting on a show." He watches as Batman stomps on a leg, the crack echoing through the room. He snaps an arm over his knee, sending a clear message. Alfred notes, "You're enjoying this, and the knife work, my lord, so bloody yet deliberate. You avoid every major artery, just enough to ensure no fatalities. Not one. Idealistic. Bloody hell." Throughout the chaos, Batman pulls out his batarang, expertly knocking down several attackers. He follows with punches, kicks, and even slaps, incapacitating more of the party animals. Then, in a surprising move, he removes his bat ears and uses them as makeshift knives, bloody but still non-lethal. This version of Batman is relentless and violent, but carefully avoids taking lives. Suddenly, one massive party animal, larger and more intimidating than the rest, shoves the others aside and growls, "Move!" The massive party animal growls, "This hand has killed more people than you can count. Now I'm going to give you one chance. Get the bleep out of our way." Batman, calm and unshaken, silently pulls out an axe. With precision, he assembles it, attaching the handle to a piece from his emblem. The result is the Bat Axe, gleaming, ready for a battle. The party animal charges at Batman, but Batman swiftly severs his wrist with his Bat Axe. Calmly, Batman says, "I hear they can reattach those sometimes. There's a hospital 3 blocks south of here. Or is it east? I can't remember all of a sudden." Turning to the rest of the party animals, he continues, "As for the rest of you, I'm going to give you one chance. Get the bleep out of here. Batman repeats himself, but this time with a harsher tone. Get the bleep out of my way. The party animals hesitates, unsure, but then decides to flee. Despite their numbers, they feel safety in reiterating. However, as they run, Batman triggers a trap he had set earlier, detonating an explosion that takes him down. Watching from his vantage point, Alfred Pennyworth mutters, "Well done, but if you were a true tactician, you have set up a trap for those fleeing." Just then, the booby trap goes off, taking out the escaping party animals. Alfred's handler interrupts, demanding, "Pennyworth, what's going on there? The satellite images make no sense. Whoever this player is, you are to engage. Copy." Reluctantly, Alfred responds, "Copy." The booby trap Batman set injures the party animals, taking them out of the fight without killing them. Using his military training, Alfred Pennyworth moves through the chaos and approaches Batman from behind. Pointing a weapon at the back of Batman's head, Alfred says, "That's the sound of a DC-34 automatic shotgun. Son, there are only 3 of them in the world. It could blow your brains all over the sidewalk before you even blink." Batman, calmly holding one of the party animals' masks, reacts in a flash. He kicks Alfred, disarms him, and grabs the shotgun. With a cold and steady tone, Batman says, "Sounds dangerous." Before Alfred can react, Batman vanishes into the shadows. The next day, Alfred quickly deduces that Batman is Bruce Wayne. Reflecting on the information, Alfred says, "Everyone's talking about who the Batman is. So who are you really, Bruce Wayne? You hide your tracks well, but it's easier when you're no one. Just some 24-year-old kid. Your mom is a social worker. Your dad was a teacher. You grew up in Crime Alley. High friends in low places. A tight-knit group. You're smart, exceptional in school. Your parents had you tested and you scored near genius levels. Then in 5th grade, you won a student engineering competition by designing a mobile collapsing bridge." Alfred remembers the details of the design. It was origami-like, based on the autonomy of a batwing. The prize? A trophy and a trip for the entire class to the Gotham Zoo. And that's where it all started. The memory turns darker as Alfred recalls the tragedy. Bruce's father and teacher, Thomas Wade, chaperoned the trip. When a mass shooter attacks the zoo, Thomas sacrificed himself to save his students. He pushed everyone inside the bat house as gunshots rang out from Joe Chill's gun. Bang, bang, bang! People were falling all around them. Thomas shouted, "Get to the back!" Bruce screamed, "Dad, get inside, Dad!" Thomas looked back at his son one last time and said, "Bruce, whatever you hear, do not open this door." He shut the door, sealing the children inside as Joe Chill approached him. Thomas stood his ground but was shot down. His hand fell slowly to the ground, landing beside a scattered flower as his life slipped away. Alfred continues his research and surveillance, reflecting on what he's discovered. He says, "After that, you lose yourself for a while. Lash out, rage out at the world. But then you find yourself again. Something inspires you, and you straighten out. You go back to school and get a scholarship to the best university in the state. But when you get there, you're injured in the first week, a soft tissue tear. I've seen the x-rays. I've been in command of men who faked injuries to escape duty, and I suspect that's what you did. But why? You were good enough to be a star, even a pro, but you saved your body for last night. For all this, whatever it is you've built." Alfred pauses, considering the death of Bruce's preparation. He continues, "You studied everything. Applied mechanics, chemistry, criminal psychology, military theory, social and cultural history, everything to prepare. Then you come home. You set up Gotham working in the power grid, then the water department, and after the sanitation. Next, you interned at City Hall, studying public policy, macro and micro, learning your city, the body, the brain, every damn part of Gotham, until finally you came full circle. Even the engineer, creating buildings, even fixing what you break, like the stairs you blew up last night. You've built something here, Bruce. I see it now, and it's impressive, truly." He pauses, his tone darkening. "But I've taken down men like you before, in city, jungles, and deserts all over the world, because you're crusaders, and crusaders always have a weakness, and yours is sitting right here. Your mother, Martha Wayne." Alfred plans to kill Bruce on the porch in front of Martha, determined to end his crusade. But as he's about to pull the trigger, he receives a text from his estranged daughter, Julia, telling him to never contact her again. He hesitates, the rejection hitting him deeply. In the end, Alfred does not kill Bruce Wayne or his mother, Martha, because of the painful reminder of his own broken relationship with Julia. That night, Alfred tracks down Bruce to his hideout on the top floor of a skyscraper owned by a billionaire who never uses it and keeps it solely as an investment. Bruce examines one of the ape skull masks and says, "There's more to these masks than it seems. They're not just for protection, intimidation. When I crack one open, I find circuitry inside, and it's recording." Alfred steps out of the shadows and replies, "Pretty smart, mate. Hiding out on the top floor of these buildings, all owned by companies and oligarchs who never use them. Just hollow investments, but you know that because you worked on them, didn't you? Alfred's voice hardened as he continues. But it ends here. I'm closing you down right now. Bruce points the shotgun at Alfred. Alfred says, thought you were better than that, son. You get cornered and all those ideals go out the window. Give me the gun, kid. You're no killer. But Batman shoots Alfred right in the head. Alfred confidently predicts Bruce won't shoot him, but to his shock, Bruce fires point blank into his face. However, this only incapacitates him as Bruce modified the gun to be non-lethal. A dozen bat-shaped darts lodge into Alfred's face, but don't penetrate further. Alfred thinks to himself, then a few things happen very fast. First, I realized that little bleeping kid modified my prize shotgun to be non-lethal, ruined it. Second, I hear that the very gun clattered by my side, like he's saying, keep it. Then I hear it, the roar of my own damn bike, and his voice telling me, you're not the only one who follows people. Lastly, I hear the sound of glass shattering as he rides out the window 1,000 feet up. Where the hell is he going to land? As Bruce Wayne Batman knew from the start that Alfred Pennyworth was coming into his city. He had been following him all along right from the beginning. We see the sign at the Gotham City Zoo. Bats are crazy, and I'm batty. Alfred thinks to himself, maybe you're not so bad these days, Gotham, meaning Bruce Wayne Batman isn't so bad after all. As Batman uses his wings to guide him down 1,000 feet, the moon lights up behind him, casting its glow as he soars through the skies. This is the absolute Batman. Epilogue. We see Alfred Pennyworth speaking to his handler. I'll get him next time he interferes. The handler responds, understood. Just stay focused on the party animals. And for what it's worth, your old target. We lost him somewhere in the Philippines. He's in the wind. Thought you should know. Alfred Pennyworth thinks to himself, lost him years. I tracked him while he studied with Henry Ducard in France, then killed the poor son of a bitch while he trained with the League of Legends. Then he killed them. Now in the wind, in Manila, at a semiconductor manufacturing plant. One of the pilots says, so just sir, nothing else? The other pilot replies, nope, they're all fake anyway. Jack, Arthur, hell, even, I don't even know his real name. When you're one of the 30 richest men on the planet, you can be whatever you want, I guess. Think he wanted to be my rich, generous friend? The first pilot responds sternly, don't joke about that. The second pilot replies, why? You didn't hear the guy? Never laughed, not at anything, ever. That's why they call him the Joker. Next, Absolute Batman, Volume 1, Issue 2.